But knowing the stage of the deal and knowing when the deal is expected to close and knowing how much I think that deal is worth is pretty useful information, but it's exactly half the information that I need, in my opinion, as a job shop manufacturer. I also need to be able to take that information and turn it into a quote that makes sense for that customer. To do that, we're going to use a tool called CPQ, Salesforce CPQ, Configure Price Quote, which will allow me to take those basic products, add on optional bundles, and make that quote much more compelling in terms of what it actually visually looks like, so that I can use that information to send that and communicate to the customer about what it's going to take to do the deal, and save all of that complicated quote and configuration information in the system for use when we finally eventually win. So using base Salesforce, we're going to walk into the quoting function, into CPQ. And in here, the first thing I want to do, I built this in advance so you didn't have to watch me do that. I'm going to edit the lines. This is going to give me the ability to add product to this opportunity, or sorry, to this quote. So this screen kind of comes up and lets me enter the items into the tool, and I can enter those items in a variety of ways. The way that I want to do it is by using the category that the items belong to. So you can see I've got anesthesia, ventilator, patient monitoring. I can also add favorites, which is a cool tool. But in this case, I want to pick patient monitoring and see just the items that belong to patient monitoring. All right, so in this example, I want to grab the 5060, and if I select that item, you'll see that Salesforce is basically going to tell me that I have two optional items that I must add to an Omega patient monitoring system. Now, if I'd have picked a ventilator, that's something that we could just ship, but in this case, I need to be able to do both an installation and I need to be able to provide a service level agreement. Now, a service level agreement could be blank. I'm not going to show you how that works, but basically I can take the optional items that belong to this. I can build them out in a way for the screen that makes sense, and then I can add those to my opportunity, to my quote, so that that shows up eventually in my. That information loads up for me, it gives me my item, and it indicates to me that I've got two optional products associated with it, and the price is that out for me. So when I save this, back on my quote screen, you can see that all of those products got summarized for me and added up to $230,000 in this case for the three items. I can also apply discounts. Now I'm going to apply a discount at the quote header level. You can apply discounts at the line item level. You can build out approval processes so the discount can't be greater than X, or if it's greater than X, it asks for approval from somebody else in the organization. So there's a lot of choices around how we discount and how we get approval for that. But when I save out that discount, then I can use that information in the system and calculate out the difference. If I refresh this screen, you can see that the $230,000 that I originally had gets a 10% discount of $23,000 and becomes $207,000. And all that can be done right within the system and basically calculated for me. The final thing I'm going to do is go ahead and create the quote document. I didn't create a great looking one, I have to be honest, but there's a very interesting quote document creation engine inside of CPQ that we can take advantage of. Essentially taking that data, showing the three items, giving a proper kind of header information and a signature block, I can really improve and enhance this quote template. I can build out dynamic terms and conditions, put your logo obviously in the corner, but essentially this gives me the ability to have a document to send out to the customer that they can then sign, that I can track inside of Salesforce as a quote. And I think one of the things that a lot of manufacturers struggle with is we're sending quotes out into the ether all day long, wondering if it's being effective. Using the base CRM functionality with reports, dashboards, and a tool called Process Builder, it's a workflow engine. I can track how long it's been since I sent that. I can remind the sales reps that it's been a certain amount of time, and basically require or at least manage the follow-up against those quotes.